Yeah, please start.
Okay. Uh, okay, so welcome back. Let's begin with the next session today. And our session today is about citations and paraphrasing techniques and literature review. And most of the session will be kind of interactive. Like we will not be limited to these slides, but in these slides I will give you just some brief about citation and paraphrasing, and then we will go to the websites and the contents and the paper contents. You will see some journals. How do they do citations? How paraphrasing is done in those research papers, and then literature review. So, first of all, what is citation? It is a reference to a source of information, ideas, or contents that you use in your writing or research. Uh, like when you are doing your research, the first thing, like we said in the previous sessions, that you search for literature, you collect data, and that data and that information, those concepts, those methodologies, you take it from somebody that, and you discuss somebody else work that is already been published. Okay, so you will be getting your data or information from certain paper research thesis or a website or anywhere. Similarly, you will learn about methodologies, what methodologies in a problem that is similar to your problem. What methodology you take it from somebody's work that has already been established, published. Maybe that is not correct. Maybe that has problems. That is something else. But at least if you are discussing the problem, still you are discussing somebody else's problems in their work. So if they have something that is already done, so you have to refer to that. That where did you took this idea, this information, or this kind of content from? And this is called citation. So what it does basically, it gives credit to the original author and or the who created the information or data, and it provides enough details uh, forward for others to look at the source. So if you are claiming that you took this kind of information, this idea, this method, whatever, and this concept from somebody or someone, some research, some article, some website, some organization, so that they can also access with enough details to look at the source of your information. So they are used to avoid plagiarism, number one, and it acknowledge the contribution of others, uh, which is a very good thing, and it also strengthens your work by showing based on a credible sources. So if you are, let's say, you are referring to population in Indonesia, let's say, and you say that it has world number one population, highest population in the world, and but who is gonna believe it? Have you counted it or not? No, that is not credible information that people should be. But if you, let's say, uh, get in some data from census data from your government that is published on website, that is that came out of work that the government has done, uh, then that information, and if you provide the source of that population data, it will give you much more credibility than saying it from your own perspective or without any credible source. So, citations typically include elements like what element that will include that could be able to, with which we could able to find the source of that information is the author's name, the title of the work, the publication date, or other relevant details depending on the citation style. For example, APA is a style, MLA, Chicago. There are many more styles in which you cite in uh, refer your data. So we will discuss these citation styles later in this session. So what is paraphrasing? So one thing you should do is cite somebody's work. The other thing is when you cite it, you have to reword or restate their information, uh, which is like rephrasing. So rephrasing is the rewording and restating a piece of text or spoken information using different words. Okay, so not their original words, but you take information from others' words and you write it in your own words, which are different from others, and phrasing while maintaining the original meaning, but at the same time it should convey the same meaning that the author that you are citing has mean to uh, provide. It is often used to simplify complex ideas, clarify information, or present content in a way without directly quoting the original source. So let's say you are uh, doing literature review, you are reading an article and you are citing data. Of course, you cannot read uh, or you cannot write the whole article in your research paper or in your proposal or in your thesis. There will be some information that will be relevant to your work, and by that specific information that you took from that paper will be relevant, and that will be required for in support of whatever you are saying. So let's say somebody's work on earthquake hazard assessment, and they say that procedure or tool or technique XYZ is suitable for this kind of environment. And so let's say if you are that is their conclusion. Of course, that is what they concluded. They will have their own references, citations, and they will have studied a lot of things that would have also use their own methodology. It will be a whole paper or whole thesis or anything, but you were only this conclusion that certain tools and techniques XYZ are uh, suitable for some problems A, B, C. So that was a relevant portion that you took from that specific paper. So you only write very simple what you required from that specific. So in this way, what it benefits the readers also that they do not need to read the other whole paper and see if they get the same information from that paper or not. So if you provided it already cited that research article, whatever, so that will be much more simpler for the reader as well. So paraphrasing helps avoid plagiarism while demonstrating understanding of material. So I have emphasized quite a lot on plagiarism. In the next slide, we will see what plagiarism is basically, which is using someone else's work, ideas, words or intellectual property without giving them proper credit or permission and presenting it as your own work. So let's say if somebody has used their words to give you some information and you are using the same words here, and first of all, you do not cite it. That's one thing. It means that you are saying it from your own and presenting it as it is your own work. That is unethical in uh, our research practices. So they can include text, uh, images, or data without citation, failing to attribute the source information. So, or paraphrasing too closely to the original without acknowledgement. So, you have to do two things to avoid plagiarism. One, you have to cite what you took from others. The second thing is you have to write it in your own words, not in their words. Okay. So plagiarism is considered unethical and dishonest in both academic and professional settings. It can use to serious consequences such as legal actions, loss of credibility, or academic penalties. Okay. So now we will go to some websites which are listed here, and we will see what these are and how they are accomplished. Uh, of course, there could be a lot to teach on this, but since we have limited, I will give you enough information and idea so that you can, if you want later on to study in detail, or if you want to use it in your own proposal writing and thesis writing, you will have an idea where to get those information from to do it correctly. So the first one is the citation. And let's go to this website. I will share the screen with you. Hmm. Can you confirm if you see the web browser that I'm sharing with you? Can you see this website of University of Wisconsin?
Yes.
Maybe you can drop it chat if you can see it. Just write chat in it, yes in it, so I can confirm what I'm saying that you can hear, uh, to see what I'm talking about. Can you all hear? Okay, thank you. Okay, let's begin with this APA style citation guide. Uh, you can check this website later on. I have provided the link in those slides as well, so you can go and check it out in detail. So we will start with just this one style of citations and references. Of course, there are other types of citations and references, other styles, you can say, but it's not necessary to remember all those styles without it is not always possible uh, to have knowledge about each and every one. So I will discuss one to give you the idea, and the same idea is applied on other citation styles as well. Just style is different. So APA is the American Psychological Association style, which set writing guidelines to clear and precise scholarly communication in the field of ranging from nursing to social work and student report dissertation and everything. Okay, so it has it is done in the two places. One in you cite it in the text that you are writing. So let's say somebody has worked uh, that you write the name of the author and the year in which the data was published. And in a reference, at the end of your writing, you write the whole reference which provide each and every detail, the journal, the number, the issue, and year, co-authors, uh, page numbers, whatever the more details are then written in references list. So the, I will give you just show the difference. What is the citation and references? So here you see an introduction. There is paragraphs and discussing ground motion and ground motion intensity and taken information from other authors. For example, Porter 2003. And this many authors. So here is the name and here is the year. So if I put cursor on it, you can see there is a lot of information, much more than that. So they are connected. So if you click this, you can have what is the full reference of this. So uh, here in the text we cite, okay, and at the end uh, of the paper we have a references list where it is written in full description. So chain and the rest of the co-authors, the year, title of the research, and the journal in which it is published, the page numbers, and digital link to that article, which is which we will discuss here later on. So one is citation that you write it in the text, and one is the reference that you give the full description of that citation, which can lead readers to the source of information. So you see here you cannot get the full detail, but if you want somebody want to let's say here it says the criteria proposed in this literature for suitability of an IAM are expressed in terms of information the IAM provides to predict structural quantities. Okay, so this information is taken from this author. So further, let's see if I'm interested in that information and find out much more about this information. This will be there at the end of the paper, Janayar et al. 2012. So it's in alphabetical order. A, B, D, E. Okay, so here is I have this whole information available, and with a single click on DOI, I can okay. So this one, this has some problem in DOI. Let's try another DOI. So you go to that specific article that that is cited there, and you see you can now access that uh, source of information. So this is a digital identifier. You can go directly just by clicking. So just to let you know the difference between them. So let's go ahead, and these are just line spacing, paragraph alignment. Those are some formatting things that you can check out maybe later. But common terms you will be using is citing, the process of acknowledging the source of information that we just saw. DOI is the some electronic content such as online journal assign a unique uh, number called DOI, digital object identifier. It can be tracked down online using DOI. Okay, so it's an article that is online uh, in digital format. You can access it with digital identifier and uh, access it easily without writing or knowing all the other information. Let's say if you know a DOI about a source that is cited, that would be enough to lead you to the source of information because it's digital. You have to go to the computer anyways. So if you click on that DOI or copy paste it in your browser, you can directly access it. So in text citation, a brief note point out where the information came from. We already discussed that, the citation in text citation. Paraphrasing, taking information that you have read and putting it in your own words. Already discussed it. Plagiarism, we already discussed it. Okay. Quoting is a little bit different than paraphrasing. Quoting is something that you use sometimes you need to use original words that others are saying. So those words they are quotes. So quotes you have to put it in inverted commas, quotation marks. So and make it italic and close it in inverted comma and then cite it as well along with the page number. So it's the citation is slightly different than other uh, text that you paraphrase. So in paraphrasing, you do not need to put it in quotation marks, but quoting you have to put it in quotation marks so that the readers know that these are not your words and you have quoted somebody else exactly in their own words and these are not your words and then you use the citation. Reference is a detail about one cited source, just like we checked in the paper that we saw. Reference list contains all the source cited in the text. It supports the research or premises. So at the end of each paper thesis or your proposal, there is a reference list where all those references are there which are cited above in the whole literature. Retrieval data for use website where the content is likely to change over time, for example, wikis and retrieve data. Let's say if you are taking data from website, websites keeps updating with the time. So maybe the knowledge or information that you created today, you took today may not be available tomorrow. So that you have to mention the retrieval date as well. That let's say if somebody cannot find it, then they know why they cannot find it, and they look for maybe the archive version of that website or the archive data. So they should know the reason. What I mean. Okay. So this is EA. Now, if you come to how to cite in this, so there are many ways to cite different things. Like for example, you can advertise. You can if there is advertisement that you are talking about or getting the information from, that can you can type it as well. Books, e-books, book reviews, class notes, encyclopedia, dictionaries, images, journal articles, and all those things. So I will start with the journal articles. So it has much more information. So that is than the others. So here you will get all the things, and then you can check it for yourself the other uh, objects or literature, how to cite them later. So journal author, uh, there are some things. So today scientific articles can have many others due to large experiments run by large teams. So in some research areas, articles can have hundreds of authors. Generally, the first author can considered to be the lead author. Okay, so when citing, it is important not to change the co-author co-authors in the list. So you have to list in the same. Let's say if an article is written by six people, and you write the whole all the six names, but that is still not enough. What you should do is you have to write it in the same order as well, because that order also say that how much work has been contributed and who was the leading, who has the leading role in their uh, literature or writing out that article. So for details on how to balance efficiency and accuracy while citing the academic rules with a long list of authors, see various examples in the page. So let's see. So title of the journal, magazine, newspaper, do not italicize the title of the article. Capitals only the first letter. So these are just the tips that you can get that in the format, volume, whether should. This is all tips for the APA citation, but let's see how it is cited. So, journal article from library data source. So here is an example uh, format where you get, so you have the author's last name, after that a comma, and first initial, second initial, if there is one initial, then that's finished, then full stop, and then year of publication, then full stop, then the article title and subtitles, if there is any, with a colon in the middle, then name of the journal, then comma, volume of the volume number, then issue number, then first page number, and dash last page number, and then DORE format is hyperlink. So here is the example. Let's say Daily is an author, okay, and he published an article in 2012, which is titled this one, and it was published in this journal. In this journal, this is the name of the journal. This is the volume, okay, and this is the issue number, and these are the beginning and end last number page of the article, and this is the digital DOI. Let's click on this DOI and see what it does. So by clicking the DOI, you go to directly to this journal. This is the, let's see, this is the language learning using linguistic model. If it's the same. No, the UI has a problem, I think. Okay, if you type, this is the full reference, you see. Uh, if you cite it in the text, okay, then you should use the author's last name and year. For example, here it's Delhi, and then the year. And if you are quoting the text from this, then you have to do the same name and year, but write the page number afterwards. Okay. So journal article from website or print in another one author. So this is the cases for one author. So it has you see almost same. Uh, okay. So in this system, there is no visible page number or page paragraph. The P and C is the initials. Okay. So there are many authors. So what you do is it's 21 authors. So you cannot write all of them. That will be a long list. So we put the dots in the middle. Okay, and then the title, the journal, and the same everything. So how do you cite it? You cite the last name of the first one, uh, first author, okay, and then you write et al, meaning all the other authors. So if let's say it is not about this example, but it's a separate example. So here, if you write this one, cite this one, that will be Kalne et al. 1996. Okay, so if it's in the quoted, then again the same format. So citation with multiple two, if there is two authors, so first time paraphrase you write like this, second time and subsequent you again write in the same. Okay, doesn't matter how many times you said it, there are two authors, so you put and in the middle and the year. So instead of one author last name, you put last name of two authors followed by year and a comma in the middle. So if you are quoting for the first time and quoting for the second time, it doesn't. So if there are three or more authors, so for two it's and. So if there are more than two, it could be 21, 100 or whatever. What should do is write the last of the first, and for the rest of the authors you write at all, followed by a full stop, and then separated by a comma and the year in which it is published. Okay, so subsequent paraphrasing, citation, you also use the same, and subsequent quoting, you just write the page number. Uh, doesn't matter if it's one time or much more times. Work by same author or same year. So let's say if an author has published, for example, this author published two papers in 2015. So let's say case et al. Has two papers in 2011 in this case. So how would you know which paper exactly are talking about? So here it's there is total dot J. So he published two articles, and when you have to cite them, you put A, B uh, in the lower case with it. So in the reference list, you give the A, which one exactly is the name of the first article, the journal, and all this information. B, so they also the same reference. Okay, so this is how then you differentiate uh, which exact article are you talking about. So similarly, let's give some example, take books and e-books. So there is not much difference. You can see it's author, year, the same what we call title, edition, and the publisher. So if you in phrase paraphrasing in text citation, you just write the last name and year, just like you were did in the what we call the article, and the same is the style for the in-text quote as well. So from EV books, and so the rest of the things it's all the same. So just the format is a little bit different because it doesn't have volumes. A book doesn't have volume. So if you cannot volume information, the issue and the number, you cannot go provide all those. So books from this citations, if you cite it, you know if it's a book or an article or a newspaper or article, magazine article, or personal communication or an advertisement. So with style, you know if it's about a book or if it's about any other thing. So here the last name and first initial uh, for two or more authors, it's the same list of the all authors. So the title, second initials, year of publication, title of the book, title is given, edition if it's given, and it's not the first edition. So publisher name after shorten, and then DOI if it's available. So you see, this is it has all the information that a book has, and what we saw in the journal article, it has all the information that a journal has. So depending on where are you getting the information from, it depends how you put that information in order or in style in whatever to lead the readers to that specific information. Okay, so now I showed you this one APA style. Uh, let's say this is a journal uh, and you want to publish with this journal. You are writing an article for this journal and you are submitting to this journal. They will have their own style format and they would have described it as well and they will provide. Similarly, if you are studying at your university, you are writing your own proposal, your own thesis, writing your own thesis. Of course, they will provide you their style and they will guide you. That will guide you to in which format you should write exactly. So let's say this is a bulletin of earthquake engineering. And there is the, you see, for authors, there is the guidelines, submission guidelines. So if you click there, then it will lead you to the submission guidelines, how, in what format you will submit to this journal. So it has instruction for authors, permissions, online submissions, source files, title page, this author's affiliations, and all those things, abstract, and how many words should it be, then it provides some keywords, some text formatting, what will be the format of the text, it should be 10-point time Romans, italic, for emphasis, and on the information, but what we will, are interested in the references and citations. So they will provide you a guide how to cite certain things if they are cited in your submitted article. So how do you do citations for this journal? Cite references in text by name and year in parentheses. Some examples are negotiation research plan Spain for many disciplines. For example, this is the text paraphrase text, and then you write the author last name and year. Okay, so maybe there is another journal who says author Pama 1990. So it could be changed for another uh, journal. So for them, what they require, they provided this information to you here. So this is again a paraphrase text, but here you cite it in a different way. So the result was later contradicted by this. So how do you cite it? It depends a little bit. Uh, let's say if you write it in your own words, then you keep it in the parenthesis, the last name in the year. So, and here, if you are referring it in a text directly by, according to, or something, then you write the last names and the year. The effect has been widely studied. And who studied the effect? You said widely studied, so it means that it is done by most many authors. So it was Ebert 1991, Barakat et al. 1995A, and B in two papers in the same years, and Desh in 1998, this et al. 1999, and also, so it should be, this is all given here. So if you come to references list, you get the journal article, how they provide you information, how to use a journal article. You see it's the same thing, just a little bit different style. So last name, initial. So there in APA, what you were seeing, there was a comma after this one, and there was a full stop after F and X. So here they do not do that. They have a different style. So this is the last name again, and this is the initial, last initial, last initial, last initial, and the year, the title, journal. So in some cases, some journal want a short name for it. Some journals want a full name for it. So it depends on the journal, format where you are submitting, and issue, the volume, and then the first and last page of the book, and then DOI. So it has all the information that are required when you submit to this step. So the same will be provided to you in when you are writing your own proposal. So these were citations. Okay. So the next thing comes about, it's about how do you manage all those citations and write all the things correctly in a managed way in your proposals or your thesis or your book or your any other thing that you are writing. Uh, let's go to, I wanted to show you this LaTeX. It's a freeware. It's a, let's see, these are tutorial. You have this LaTeX. It's a format. Uh, it's a document style, just like we have a Word, uh, which has a DOC extension. It is also a text editor. You can say, and it has a TEX uh, file. So it's the same, do the same work as your MS Word do, but in class to Word, you start off with the plain text file which contains LaTeX code. So you basically manage all your the whole article, your document with some LaTeX code and the actual content that is the text. So LaTeX uses control statements which define how your content should be and formatted. So let's say uh, every journal or has their own style, every thesis has their own style and format. So if you are writing it in the Word, you write it in one format and submit it towards one journal. And what happened that the journal rejected that publication. Now you have to submit it to another. So now it is all very different. Let's say one journal asks you to write your references and citations in APA format. The other has another. So you have to change the style of all those references and citations. This is very hectic job and very time consuming. So what LaTeX do is for us, it gives you this uh, coding which provides command and control to your document. So if you change one thing, it doesn't affect the rest of it. So you change in which style, you define which style do you want to write this document in, and it will change the whole document accordingly. So it also manages your citations with biptycs. Biptycs is the bibliography. Uh, and I will recommend that if you are starting your research, writing your proposal, you create a biptycs file, then you can use that in throughout your life. So whenever you find any uh, bib file uh, or an article that you think that you might need it, just write, uh, put it in your bib file. So then you can cite. So what it does, it has a certain style of writing. So you define the article, document class, what is kind of it's an article, it's a book or whatever. Then document the random citation. So this is how you cite it. Then the one embedded in the text. So this is how it will look. So and this is how it will be portrayed in the references. So sometimes you do not put first and last name. You just IEEE style, which is you just put the one, two, three in the order in which the citations are made. So here one refers instead of writing dummy 2018, you write one. So one is mentioned in the references and it has the whole citation along. Uh, Similarly, like you have this citation. uh, different styles, so you can just you- if you I would recommend to start going through this tutorial right from first document from the installation and the first document. This will give you a lot of uh, knowledge and command later on in your studies if you started. Now these tutorials, of course, we cannot do all these tutorials uh, in these limited sessions. This is something that you will have to learn by yourself. So it gives you all the things from the beginning, how to create LaTeX file, and then how do you do the coding in it, and you will note that how it provides command on your text. So then how it connects with the uh, citations and other things. How do you make tables in it? How do you make mathematics, figures, packages, sections, many things. So if you have time and you are interested, this is so it has a free available open source software as well to which handle the text and document. Then there are some commercial stuff which are very easy to use. You have to acquire license for it. Maybe if you are in the university, they already have acquired a license for this. That makes it a little bit easy and avoid this coding stuff if that is commercially available. So it's not necessary that you have to do it anyway. But this will be very much helpful in a sense that if you are submitting it to a journal, let's say I was talking about this, it has managed this with material can be submitted into later. So it provides you with the option to submit in LaTeX format. So what they do is they provide you the template in LaTeX, and the only thing is you just copy paste your text, and it will you do not have to put the text in Arial or New Times Roman with different font sizing, uh, alignment, adjustment. So you just copy paste the plain text in this uh, text document, and it will then do it for you automatically on the formatting because it has already defined. Let's see and download it. We can. It's a journal article template on the whole package. Let's see. I will show you one. Step here. Let me extract it and then I will share you screen. So here is how I extracted it. So you see this is the text document. This is the big text database, and so it also provides you with the user manual. You can check it out here. So how do you use this? And this is, let's say, article. I will double click and open it. And this is how it looks. There's all the information here, and this is it has different packages which you can use. Some may you may need, some you may not need a certain package. So these packages define what uh, how the title should look, how uh, everything text should look, what would be the format. So what you do here is let's say you just here change the styles and uh, you say here, let's say authors. So you just write authors and first name, last names, and emails, and uh, just copy paste all the addresses, whatever, fill it in here, and it will do all this formatting for you. You see here, and this is the same thing. So let's say it's an introduction, uh, and this is the extract. You see. So here it says this. Command that defines that after this within this parenthesis, whatever it is written is the abstract for abstract of this article. So here you define the article title, article title. So using these packages, title, appendix, text, and all those things. It defines all those things in which order, in which style, in which font size, color, whatever it should be mentioned. So you do not have to do all those numbering, the section numbers, the author numbers, one, two, three, and everything. What you do is here is just copy paste the text here. Uh, and it will automatically put it in order. Let's say some there is mathematical equations. You can check it out and just change it whenever you. So normally, let's say if you delete it, it has you have many more figures and tables in your and it's 7, 8 chapters pieces. Let's say you move one figure, remove one figure from your document, it will change all those uh, numbers where it is cited. Let's say in different places you cited figure 7. So right from the beginning to the end of the document, there are tens of places where you refer to a specific figure, figure 7. So if you remove the figure 7, what happens that now the figure 8 in your document becomes figure 7, figure 9 becomes figure 7. So you have to change the whole figure citations uh, or references again. So it's very difficult to do all those numbers and you may miss some. Here that is done for you automatically. So it's difficult, maybe not for the computer. I don't think it should be difficult for computer students with computer background. And I would recommend to go through this from now on. It will, and at the end of our sessions, when you are submitting your proposal uh, as your assignment, uh, I would recommend to use the text format, bibliotheque for your bibliography, referencing and citations. And it will help you a lot in future, not in here, but also the more you do and work with it, the more you get used to you will be with it. Because of course you do not need to be super expert in it so that you write the codes from the scratch because you do not need to write everything from scratch. You just make edit and changes in an already provided format most of the time. So don't worry about all those things. So just to keep working on it, make your bibliography for it. Let's say I will also share you something else. Okay, just leave it for the moment. Okay, we take a few minutes break, let's say 10 minutes break, and I think we can come again. Then I will show you other references and citation managing tools which you can also adopt. Can we take a few minutes break? Is Rizwan there?
Sebentar ya, ini tuh.
Hi, Rizwan.
So we'll have break.
Yeah, just 10 minutes, we come back.
Okay then.
Okay.
I wonder why is um your image is blur in my desktop. Yeah. Oh yeah. That's why I was wonder why. Is it my screen or?
With yes,
Yeah, yeah. Now
please.
it's clearer.
Is
Yeah.
it clear now?
No, I think it's fine now. Yeah, yeah. Now it's clear. Thank you. Um, untuk para mahasiswa apa kita udah bisa mulai ya?
Apa?
Ya. Suaranya jelas ya? Suara Pak Saadnya.
Udah nggak jelas Pak. Mungkin
Oke.
agak sedikit.
Ya. Sarah, I think we can start now. It was interesting to see you to explain latex ya. I think your voice, I don't know why, but your voice in my computer is very low. I don't know why. But I asked students,
I
they said
think if
the voice is
there's the
clear. Maybe later I'll
with,
see the recording.
is it only in the recording or is it just hearing you as well?
In my device. Maybe later I will check the recording. Yeah. Maybe it is
Okay, I
clearer
think
in the recording.
with the recording you can also change the settings and which volume you want to.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll check volume. But anyway, I think we can start now.
Start it from at this stage of your career because later on you will not find much time to learn. Especially PhD, there you may have some time to learn it, and still I don't think much time because there you want to do your research, not learn about something. This is the stage where you want to learn how to conduct a research and how you manage your research so that when you go for a higher study, you must keep the
I'm sorry to interrupt, Sat. It is, I think the voice is low, yeah? And the students also said so. Is it possible for you to maybe come closer to the microphone? Um, Wait a minute. Yeah. Uh,
Message if you
now
can
it's
hear me
clearer.
clearly.
Can you use that setting?
Yeah, I didn't change anything.
Now it is clearer.
I just came a little bit. Oh, I just turned off the camera. Maybe it was because of some internet traffic or something. Maybe I don't know. But I just
Okay.
turned off the camera. That's all I did.
Yeah. Is it because you come closer to your device or?
But I just changed a little bit. But in the previous session, the computer was at this same place. So this
Okay.
is the first time I moved the computer. I don't know where the problem could be, but at least if you can hear me now, let's go ahead with it.
Yeah,
As
yeah, yeah,
long as
yeah.
it
I
makes
think we
sense.
can start now.
Okay, so continuing the references and citations. So uh, you must know this Google Scholar. You can access it through scholar.google.com, and here you can also search your articles that you are interested in, uh, and that you can do by writing some, let's say, keywords. Let's say this is an article I'm searching about, which is umbrella granitic complex of carboniferous and its age. I just wrote down this random text, and it will give me all those papers where this term is used, and then I can go and access the papers if it's available and from where it has been taken or research period or whatever. So let's say you see that there are different styles and formats of referencing and citations, and every journal, every book, and every thesis, and every university will be having different formats that they will be using. Uh, and let's say if you are using any text, this references citation imagining software, you have to put it in some format in there as well. So, where do you wanna put it? How do you wanna extract it so that you make the less efforts is one way that you take it from Google Scholar. So I search this document. Let's say I have this paper, let's say this article. I have. I can see I can access it by clicking it, but let's say I have read this article already. I just want to cite it. So one thing you can do is uh, yeah, here you can if you access the website from where the article is, you can there is a, a link given that how do you cite this particular article or book or whatever it is. I'm focusing on articles, but it doesn't mean that I'm only talking about the article. So article, I'm taking it as a model for the rest of the literature. So you do all the same thing with the all other literature as well. So since article is the most used and most cited and referred thing, then that is why I'm only focusing on articles. So don't take it as if the rules only apply for articles. So go and use it for general purpose as well. So let's say you find this one, you say cite this article. There is also citation information provided. So you can also download this citation. Also, you can click it on download, and it's ask you where do you wanna put this download. So some people, at some places, you will also be if there is any other journal. Let's say I will try another one. Um, either, okay, let's try this one and see what it. So cite this. Okay, so it also gives you option in which format you want to cite this. So instead of writing and do all the formatting, commas, full stop, and here and order and everything, you see here we have the API format. So you just copy it and paste it in your document. If you're here, you can directly copy it to clipboard, and here you can find see the BibTeX format. So if you saw the BibTeX, it has a format in which you have to put all those things separately in a specific format so that it could be utilized in your text document later on. So you can directly download the BibTeX format. EndNote is another bibliography managing software. RIS is another. I will show you the EndNote as well in a moment. Uh, but it is you have to have a license for EndNote as well. Text you can use it open source as well. Okay, so let's close this, go back to Google Scholar. So here, let's say if you do not want to go directly, so you can go and click on the site here as well. So click in here, and it will also give you many formats in which you can copy paste it. And BibTeX, EndNote, RefMan, Refer. So in any managing bibliography managing software, you can download it in their format as well. So whichever format you like, you can. So sometimes uh, old publications like let's say this one, it's on ResearchGate. Uh, it may not provide complete information. It is okay, but let's say there is an old literature that is not fully scanned, indexed. They may have some error, but generally all the articles like this one, it doesn't have any link or all. You cannot click and search for it. So if you cite this one, the system can't perform the operation now. So here you see you get this information, you get the geographical bulletin, you shower, this is the volume, year, and all those things. And you can, so now here you can see it has all the information, you cannot access it, but let's say somebody else has typed in, you can find it from here where you can access it. So it's a geological bulletin published by from University of Peshawar. So maybe you can come to go to University of Peshawar and search their library, it will be available there. So many things, all literature, uh, they are may not be available in digital format to you. Some are maybe digital, some are not, but all literature may be mostly found in uh, libraries. Okay, so those were let's take And this is the end note. You can buy it. Maybe your university also has end note. Uh, you can have just the free version trial as well. It has licenses, full licenses, student licenses. It also you will also have you find a lot of tutorials for this one as well. But end of the day, if you learn how to use LaTeX, BibTeX, I think all your problems could be solved here, and you will manage your writing uh, better than anyone. So this is what the tools and I have used so far. This is like the top notch ultimate. In my point of maybe there is something that is better than this, but I don't know about that. So my recommendation would be this one. Okay, so let me show you another. Let's say you don't have any time, you haven't learned in timely manner all the letter can end note and other things, and you throughout your studies and you used only MS Word. So let me show you. There is also option in MS Word for this one as well. You see this MS Word document. It has one tab which has references, and you can insert citations, new source, and you can make your own library here. So you add author, title, year, city, and everything, book section, journal article. So there is a what do you want to put into your library, and then you will have a bibliography. How do you wanna whatever you have cited, how do you wanna put it in your your references? So like any other word formatting that you do, you can also do that kind of formatting with your bibliography area. So you can manage the sources here. You can have a master list and your current issue. With the passage of time, you add a lot of many more things in it. And then which one you want to use cited or your current list, how many have you can appear it here. You want to add, remove, do anything, you can do it here. So check this one out as well, just in case. But I would say that do try the LaTeX. Okay, let's go to the slides again. And now we will come to literature review. So up until now, I think one thing for you is clear that you have to read uh, literature. You have to read it for what? You have to read it for your problems, your methodologies, your data, your information, theories, concept, everything. You have to go to literature. So, what is a literature review? It's a comprehensive analysis or summary of existing research publications, scholarly work on a specific topic. So, you have a topic, so when you go to an extensive analysis of the literature about that specific topic, then it is called what we call literature review. And overview, uh, and not only it provides you an overview, but also the authors, the readers of your research later on, what information have you when the time when you are doing research, what you knew from the existing literature, how did you identify the gap, the problem, the inconsistent in the already literature that you have, and highlight the key findings, theories, and methodologies in that specific field. So, of course, you cannot start anything just from your own thinking. You can start your problem, but at the end of the day, you will have to go for a literature review. So, why do we do literature review? Comprehensive analysis of previous existing published literature to contextualize your research, which is done by summarizing the existing studies. A literature review places your research in a context of a broader academic conversation, showing you how your work built on or challenges previous findings. So it leads you to understanding what your research could do in a broader sense, in which context your research is. So it identifies the gaps. It helps you identify areas where more research is needed, or highlighting unresolved questions, or gap in the literature which you want to fill. Uh, that will lead you to your research. So, like we said earlier in the previous sessions, that one of your research source for your research problem is literature. So, when if you read the literature, you can identify gaps, and you can have a research problem, research question, and then you can create hypotheses and do experimentations, methodologies, and produce results and lead you to conclusion. So it's a literature review supports methodology. It can also justify the methods or approaches that you choose to study by showing that how it aligns or differ from the previous research. So previous method, if it's proven efficient, and you use that method for your own research, it gives you a justification, a credibility that you are using a credible method. And maybe if that method is not suitable, and you may think there is some other method and what it could be made better, uh, still you have to go to literature, and if you study literature, then you can justify how your method would be different or more beneficial or more efficient than the methods that are already used in the existing literatures. Important thing, it avoids duplications. So it ensures that you are not duplicating work that has already been done. Maybe you are started doing something that is already done. So why you waste your time and energy? Maybe if it's already done, nobody will publish it. Nobody maybe okay, but there should be any difference. So it ensures that you are not duplicating the work that is already being used, and we helping you to create original contribution to the field. So how do we do literature review? So first of all, you have to have your broad research topic questions that clearly identify your scope, on which we already discussed in the previous sessions. What specific question are you seeking to answer, or what are you exploring? If the topic is too broad, refine it to focus on a specific aspect or issue. So these research questions and topics already we have discussed in detail in previous sessions. I will not go into detail. Just uh, in this context, uh, you have to do your literature review. Search for relevant literature review key terms like I showed you on Google Scholars. That will lead you to finding of research articles, books, report in databases like Google Scholar, just PubMed, Scopus, or your institution library, or any other website or whatever. So it will give you your relevant literature. include peer reviewer article, thesis, conference paper, and book that are peer reviewed, be reviewed by unknown, I mean, other scientists, and then published rather than something that is published without any review. So, peer-reviewed article, journal thesis, and books, conference papers, etc., they have much more value or much more credibility than, let's say, a news article that is published by a writer without any review. Uh, the review references in articles that you find to identify additional uh, relevant sources. So, let's say you go to start studying one research paper, you see that there is a reference list at the end. So you can, and it is that reference list is cited in your paper, in the paper that you are reading. So if you want, you can go to further literature. Let's say in that literature they have questioned some methodology and they have made a citations about another research article, and you may want to dig out more about that problem. Then you can check out the reference and search that and study that literature as well. So from one paper, then you go to another paper, you find the references over there, more relevant references, then you study those references, and then from one paper you study two, and from two it makes four, and so on. You study a lot of literature, and your knowledge about that specific topic or problem enhances. Uh, Evaluate and select sources. Choose sources that are directly address your research problem or topic, and prioritize peer-reviewed reputed academic publications, while older studies can be important. Ensure that you study the latest, because the latest would have also be have cited the or studied the old literature. So better to look for latest research while still keeping in view that the old literature is also important, but maybe you do not need it if there is a latest research site there instead of uh, older, that would be a preferable choice. Note then key points, arguments, methodology. That is something that you have to take into account. How do you or how can you manage all those things? You can note it down on your in your notebook, or you can use your Word documents, word processing documents, any way you want. Just keep in line what things you are doing. Organize your literature. If you are reading a lot of papers, you will forget what thing you read where in what paper. So at the end of the day, if you come to writing, you will not know that where you took this information from. So keep it organized, group your literature based on the theme, concept, and methodologies that emerging from your reading. Organize the literature in a way that follows logically. That again also depends on how you want to accomplish it, and also how in which field are you working in. So common structure includes chronological by that thematic, which is by topic or the theme of the literature, which is the next step may be methodology. You organize it by the methodologies used in other literature. It could be by theoretical approaches. Uh, it could be any way you let's say if you are studying comparing methodologies and more about the methodology, maybe you want to uh, organize it based on methodology. Maybe if you want to, if your publication is a review article, maybe you want to keep it in order of the date, that is the chronological order. So analyze and synthesize the literature for each source, summarize main argument, evidence, and findings. compare and contrast different literatures, what one say and how it differs from the other, and what gaps are you finding in one, and if it has been filed in another one or not, if the other one has any gaps or not. Keep track of these gaps as well. Establish relationships, how different studies relate to one another, such as where one study refine the other challenges. uh, Write the literature review. Uh, should have you should start writing it from you introduction to your topic, and explain the purpose of your literature. Why did you study this literature? And then the body which present your review, organized according to a theme and structure developed for each theme. Discuss the relevant studies, compare findings, analyze methodologies, uh, then draw a conclusion in literature review that looking into such and such literature, we find that this and this gaps, and these need to be addressed using this kind of methodology, and this will lead you to conclusion and leading you to stating your problem at the end of your literature review. Next is cite your story, and don't forget this as well. We discussed this quite in detail today. And revise and always ensure that you show it to somebody for you. In this case, it could be your supervisor who maybe review it and give you some comments, suggestions that or feedback that you incorporate, and it will refine and get uh, it more uh, accurate. And I think this is where we will end our lectures session today. If you have any questions, you can let me know. Uh, but before going to the questions, let me just give you idea about the literature review. Let's say this is a, let me show you the screen. This is an article. Okay, so you see here, it first start with the introduction in the framework of performance-based earthquake engineering. Seismic vulnerability addresses the development of probabilistic seismic hazard, seismic demand analysis, and fragility curves. In this. See, you made an introduction, and based on this introduction, you are claiming that thus one of the essential criteria for reliable fragility curves. This is, and you make a point till here, and then say based on this literature, therefore the selecting best I am is critical task to do. So this is normally the literature we view, where you give the general introduction, which leads you to a point that you are want to make. So the criteria proposed in this literature permit acceptability of expressed in terms of information, and this uh, more specifically they indicate. So you see what here you discuss on the literature, what previously people has done, what this author Jailer in 2012 done, what he said in 2000, using what methods that they use, what concept that they adopted, and so you give all those information. Uh, so you see, so far the literature focus on establishing. So this is just one paragraph, and you see how many literature has been studied just to make this a few sentences. So most of the it is occupied by citations, but you see one, two, three or four sentences at most. So and a lot of papers anything. So so far, it gives you a summary of all these literature. So the specific literature is focused on establishing whether a kilogram is significant according to reduce significant bias in seismic structure analysis. So here is a claim that there could be a significant bias. And how do you know about this bias from these literature? And how can we see dimension? If you want to go to this biasness, just go to the this literature. Uh, the main scope of then you come to your own paper is to assess the suitability of this. Okay, so this is how you make the literature review. This is all in introduction section. You could have a different section in your thesis. It depends how you structure your thesis article, but this is all literature you see, and every word and sentence said here that has a reference at the end, which means that these are not your research. So except this paragraph, which is talking about this particular paper, which of course is the wording or the work that is done by this particular author of this paper. So it has no references. Otherwise, other information that is taken from other sources that has our everything. So this letter here doesn't have. This is about the. Uh, it is discussing the structure of this paper. So uh, you see, there is no citation here because it's own work of, uh, in this paper. Okay, so the more you study literature, I think the more you will learn from it, and that's the whole summary, I would say. If you have any question, please let me know. And yes,
Oh, okay, thank you, Dr. Saad, for the event. I want to ask regarding the paraphrasing that you mentioned before, that you have to paraphrase your paper to make sure it doesn't copy others people work. But the thing is, since I mean today, like even everybody starts using AI, and many people also using the AI detector. And in my case, even when I try to write it down myself without using any help from AI and etc., when I submit it into the AI detector, it still says that my work is based on AI. So it's kind of hard to, and I mean, how should I navigate this? I mean, should I like purposefully makes my writing wrong, like something wrong here and there to make sure that yes, it's a real human work, and or maybe I should, or is there any other way to get through this kind of problem? Thank you.
okay. Let's say if your work has some portion that if you go put it through AI detector or any plagiarism checking software, and it gives you, let's say, 20% or less portion of it as AI content, that is not considered mostly as that is a false positive, you can say, for AI content. So, in most of the cases, uh, there will be like, unless and until there is a clear indication that uh, it, this is just done by a human by itself, that this doesn't seem fish. So, it is different or not rely solely on the software in which.
So I can't hear the sound clearly.
So, uh, one thing that you can, if you want to use, let's say, paraphrasing and most of the articles will be writing in English as well. And English is not your first language. That's one thing. Second thing would be not, not be a
Sir, I can't hear your sound clearly.
or even if it is good enough, it's not as good enough as a native speaker. So let's say if I speak in I cannot speak or find not be even if I speak. So what normally instead of getting English speak native get delivered for therapy for and if one who use let's say AI for brief then they have to be very much more cautious because sometimes they can also mislead and point that you are making actually is maybe not the point that AI is making. So let's say, and again, I'm saying, let's say, your own work, which let's know that it's rough, it's not perfect, it's writing. They are if they but we have to check it carefully if it's really the same thing or not. And another thing is, I would say that I
Sorry to interrupt, dear Saad. The voice is
yeah,
too low, I think.
I haven't seen.
Yeah, still low.
Is it clear now? Clear now, much better? So, so
Um,
now,
in my side, I cannot hear your voice.
can you hear
Very
me?
low, very low.
So, can anybody can hear? So,
Yeah, not yet. According to the students also, it is not clear now.
but for the lower because
Yeah,
I
now it's
tried.
okay.
Is it
It's
okay now?
yeah, yeah, it is better.
I see this message that they can hear, but it's very low. I don't know why is it
Yeah, in
is it
the I think you can adjust the microphone volume in system sound. Yeah, in the system, you go to the system and the sound. There's a microphone volume over there in the setting. Is it possible to check?
yeah, let me check my
Yeah.
microphone setting,
Um,
but
and could you please adjust it to 100%?
is it I made it to 100%.
Yeah, it is already 100%.
Yeah, no, it wasn't, but I made it
Yeah, now it's
100%.
better. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So uh, I don't know. It was all the time the same, but sometimes you hear it correctly, sometimes not. I don't know. Anyhow, I made it full now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh,
As long as you have
okay,
managed to
okay, okay,
maximize it. Okay?
okay. It's now at maximum, so let's see. I hope you can hear me clearly now, students.
Yeah, I will check the recordings later, and I hope I can, as long there is a sound, I will try to enhance the sound.
Okay,
Okay.
so coming back to yes,
Well, I think the last time there is a question, right?
yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Let's
Yeah.
come to the question. So the question was about the AI content that is detected. So the my answer to that was that it could be that your content is detected, but your paper or your research cannot be uh, rejected based upon it because it in most cases could be false positive. So maybe you are right, you wrote something that maybe the, for example, Turnitin or any plagiarism checking software, maybe it gives it an AI content unless and until it is checked by human by itself and confirm that if it is AI content, maybe you copy paste something and there is something that is suitable to or that proves that this is uh, cannot be written as such except let's say ChatGPT. So in that case, maybe you can get caught, but in most cases, and the benefit out doubt can be given to you in case everything is the rest of the work is your work. If it is limited to uh, just paraphrasing, maybe. And the idea, the message that you want to convey, that is your message, not the AI conveyed message. Uh, and Spring, let's say journals, what they say is that let's say if there is an AI content, you can use AI content, but then you have to mention in your paper, in your document that you have made use of AI content for such and such purposes. So you cannot have it as a co-author. Let's say if you want to say that you analyze something there based on AI, and that is not acceptable. But let's say if you have taken any help, then you should mention it. The other thing is that let's say if you are paraphrasing it, my recommendation would be to write it as uh, better as you could, and then take it to AI for not for rephrasing, but a grammar correction. So if grammar is corrected, then of course it is rephrased as well automatically because it is not the same words as you used. So first you changed, you write it down in your own words from the papers that you studied, and then you took it to AI for grammar correction, then it is further changed, then in that case the plagiarism is can be mostly avoided. But you have to be very much clear in using AI because let's say if you take it to grammar correction, maybe it understands or it conveys a meaning that is not something that the meaning that you want to convey with your writing. So you have to check, double check that whatever you get from AI is actually what you are trying to convey or not. So be careful with it. I hope that answers the questions. If there is any further clarification that you may require.
Thank you so much for the answer.
All right, Saad. Thank you very much for the class today. Um, although the voice is quite low on my side, I will check the recording later, and then I will, if there is a problem with the sound, I will try to find a way to fix it as well.
Okay, you check the recording, share it with your students. If there is any, let's say, major issue with the volume, then uh, let's say in any part we can discuss it in the next session. So we will start the next session with the question that if you have any uh, difficulty in understanding this session.
Yeah, yeah, I will try save. I will check it, and usually in VLC player it has 200% options for the voice, so no problem. As long as it's a voice, then it's fine actually. Usually.
I hope there will be a voice because I haven't turned off my microphone, so there will be some recording. I don't know how much it is at, as the volume at your end. So check it out and let me know, and then we can sort it out somehow.
All right. Thank you very much for your lecture. Untuk para mahasiswa, terima kasih ya. Nanti tanggal 24 sama 25 bulan ini ya, sama 27, 4, 20 ya. Jangan keluar dulu ya. Ya, thank you Saad. Oke, sedikit pengumuman ya. Nanti tanggal 24 dan 25 September, Selasa, Rabu itu kita ada workshop penulisan ilmiah dari jam 8 sampai jam 3. Nah, semua wajib hadir untuk kelas MPPI dan mahasiswa skripsi bimbingan saya. Nah, jadi nanti ada tambahan. Nah, di situ kita akan belajar cara menulis artikel ilmiah secara offline ya. Jadi siapkan semuanya. Kemarin saya sudah kasih tugas judul sama bab 1 ya. Kecuali yang E ya, yang E itu saya minta bikin grup agak lama ya. Kelas E. Jadi nggak apa-apa. Nanti karena 24-25 itu akan ada workshop. Nah, otomatis kalian kan pasti akan ada kelas lain keluar masuk. Ya, jadi kalian akan keluar masuk nggak apa-apa. Kalau udah nggak ada kuliah masuk lagi gitu ya. Nanti harapannya 24-25 itu kalian udah bisa nyelesain sampai bab 3 proposal, contoh proposal ya. Sekaligus itu menjadi awal pengerjaan proyek akhir masing-masing individu. Jadi dari sekarang silahkan tentukan judul, tentukan buat mulai bab 1, bab 2, bab 3 ya per orang. Jadi 24-25 nanti ada workshop, keluarannya nanti bab 3 ya, sekaligus sudah nyicil proyek akhir. Di situ nanti juga ada materi. Setelah itu tanggal 27-nya masih 27 nanti ada kuliah umum secara offline dengan pemateri juga ya, jam 1 sampai jam 3 tanggal 27-nya. Gitu ya. Nanti untuk minggu depannya saya assess lagi ya, keluaran audionya misalnya kurang oke gitu ya, mungkin cukup ya yang online ini. Kalau kurang oke ya, kita offline aja gitu. Cuma karena kan ada apa ya, semacam kerjasama ya. Kemudian itu dulu rencana kita. Jadi tugas untuk semuanya ya, kelas B kalau nggak salah, E dan C ya. Ya, B, C, E buat sampai bab 3 ya. Gitu. Jadi yang kemarin bab 1 judul bab 1 di extend langsung ke bab 3 ya. Nanti ngumpulinnya sampai di brownnya saya perpanjang sampai bab 3. Ya, silakan dibuat nanti. Kenapa begitu? Jadi pas tanggal 24 25-nya kita bisa ngoreksi. Jadi kalian sambil lihat materi dari pemateri memperbaiki itu, ya. Itu dulu rencana kita ke depan ini. Ada pertanyaan?
Permisi Pak Rizwan,
Ya, Michael.
kalau misal memang tanggal 24 25 itu memang kayak istilahnya tuh memang nggak bisa hadir atau mungkin hadirnya setengah aja itu nggak masalah ya berarti.
Nggak masalah, nggak masalah. Harapan saya di situ eh, sebenarnya dua itu penting ya. Cuma harapan saya bisa hadir sih. Kalau memang setengah kan karena pasti jadwal kuliah, ya mau gimana lagi ya, nggak apa-apa. Tapi tetap nanti presensi ya semua.
Baik Pak, terima kasih.
Yang tanggal 27 wajib karena kuliah kamu ya. Mm-mm. Semua sebenarnya wajib ya, cuma eh, karena jadwalnya pasti tabrakan sama kuliah lain jadi nggak apa-apa lah. Ya. Jadi gitu ya, agar efektif, harapan saya segera dibuat bab 1 sampai bab 3-nya. Kalau udah kepikiran untuk skripsi, silakan ya. Itu judulnya. Kalau masih bingung judulnya, lihat di JPTIK ya. Untuk cari judul aja. JPTIK itu repository kakak kelas kalian untuk skripsi. Ini saya taruh di grup WA ya. Silakan. Untuk cari judul aja, inspirasi. Sama kira-kira nulisnya itu gimana sih? MPPI, MPPIE, ya, gitu ya. Baik, terima kasih sudah menghadiri perkuliahan kali ini. Untuk recording 3 pertemuan kemarin akan saya share ya, tautannya. Oke, selamat istirahat ya. Selamat sore. Boleh meninggalkan Zoom.